Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse shoe review of the Nike Zoom GP Challenge 1. Nike delivers this premium offering within the Challenge line with Zoom Air units in the forefoot and the heel for a comfortable ride and extra energy as you push off. A stability plate located in the midfoot region adds stability for quick direction changes and helps to transfer energy during each stride. The lacing system is connected to a belt on the lateral side to help contain your feet for an extra secure and locked-in fit. High abrasion rubber on the outsole in a herringbone pattern supplies durability and traction with extra rubber in the toe area for drag protection. A curvature in the heel helps create a rocker-like motion for easy heel-to-toe transitioning.
I'm a big fan of Nike's Vapor 11, so I was really excited to try this Zoom GP Challenge 1. This shoe offers a much more elevated ride. It's got really plush cushioning. For me, I'm usually playing shoes that are much lower to the court, and I get more court feel through the midsole and outsole. This one I found myself just tripping over my feet a little bit, just the way I got used to that thicker feel under my feet. Traction, I thought, though, was really good, and once I did get used to the shoes, I felt like I was moving well, especially laterally across the baseline, scampering around, defending in it just fine. Some nice support and stability when I would come to those aggressive lateral stops and cuts, and plenty of traction to get me going, and just enough give to let me slide out of a shot if needed. My feet never ran too hot in this shoe, so it doesn't appear when you look at the shoe like there's a ton of ventilation, but I didn't have any ventilation issues at all. Generally found them very comfortable on the court. I did have some issues with the tongue of the shoe. It bunches up. I had to be really careful just putting the shoe on, getting the tongue nice and flat, and then cinching the laces around my foot. And I was good to go after that. So nice play test for me, but Vapor 11 is still my favorite Nike shoe right now.
The first thing I noticed when slipping my feet into these shoes was the really fantastic underfoot cushioning. They really reminded me a lot of the GP Turbos from 2020. This update feels maybe a little bit more responsive and not as pillow-like as that version, but I thought the Zoom Air unit did a great job absorbing those tougher, harsher landings on court. Also felt like the shoe was fairly stable when moving side to side and pushing off. I felt like the shoe was rigid enough that it was holding my feet in place. However, I was having issues with getting a locked-in, snug feel. I felt like the foot opening was maybe a little bit too wide, or there was missing one eyelet where I just couldn't cinch my laces down tight enough, so I was getting a little bit of heel slippage. My main issue was that when I was moving around on court and moving forward and trying to stop, my feet were sliding within the shoe, so I was getting toe jamming, and it was especially noticeable because that toe cap is pretty firm. So really that is my main hold up with this shoe. I felt like the underfoot cushioning was great. It was stable, it had good traction, but I was just not able to get a supportive locked-in fit and feel. But if you are a player that prioritizes underfoot cushioning, then you should definitely give this one a shot.
I definitely gravitate towards a court shoe that provides a high degree of stability, support, and comfort. No doubt about it, the Nike Zoom GP Challenge 1 minimally challenged me on court, chasing down all these guys' shots laterally. I would say for the most part, this dotted most of the I's and crossed most of the T's. So underfoot cushioning, I kind of prefer a firm yet cushioned response. I definitely got that. Traction was top notch. I definitely like the little rocker of the heel. Your heel to toe forward motion becomes a little bit easier in this shoe. And probably my favorite Nike shoe thus far predates the Lunar Ballistic, maybe the 4.3 or the 3.3. And once I got this shoe on looking straight down at it, it kind of reminded me of that shoe. However, I would say if there was any knock that I have to aim at it, there was a little bit of an issue in terms of retaining the tension on the laces as I pulled them, so it was a little bit of a chore getting in. And then aside from that, I would have preferred to have that extra empty eyelet just to kind of cinch my heel down in the rear of the shoe. But overall, once I did get through, pulling through the laces and got a good secure fit, I had zero problems on court with this shoe. Just overall, really good play test.
Coming into this play test for this new Zoom GP Challenge 1, I had pretty high expectations as the GP Turbo, one of the previous Nike shoes, was probably in my all-time favorites for comfort. And I would say most things about this shoe delivered for me pretty good. I did notice, first time putting my feet in these shoes, the cushioning underfoot, you still have that kind of like elevated, lifted feel, pretty thick material underneath the balls of your feet and the heel, but maybe not quite as bouncy not quite as soft and squishy as I would say with this cushioning compared to the GP Turbo, but pretty good overall. I will say a slight downside with the upper material near the toes, something that kind of Jason mentioned when he was moving forward and stopping. I wasn't getting that complete like toe jam type of feel, but it wasn't as soft as the GP Turbo up front, kind of in the bumper of the shoe, so to speak. So just maybe a little firm there. I did get a pretty good fit when I cinched up the laces. This kind of belt on the outside connected to the laces kept me feeling secure. Good support in that aspect. Stability was pretty good, even though it is kind of higher off the ground. This stability plate in the middle did give it a good sense of rigidity. I didn't feel like the shoe was twisting too much. I never had that feeling of rolling over. Of the Nike shoes, I think I like the Vapor 11 just a bit more, a little softer in the upper and still pretty good cushioning. But all in all, I think it's a good shoe to fall in line with the GP Challenge family. For more information on these shoes or anything tennis related, be sure to head to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.